Well, I'm at Port Moody Station. I had coffee with a friend and was grateful to him for driving me to a couple of the Swedish home, the Daniel home to get applications. A waiting list, but they were worthwhile dropping in on. And then took me to the drive where I thought I was going to be able to buy a Clark penny whistle, and no, I wasn't able to. But I was able to buy this, which is a Watson made in Ireland. So it's like a generation with the flageolet plastic ending, and a wood block sound on the other one, and on my wooden double series. I like the wooden tone better, but I have this for now, so I'm going to play at the station until the train comes. I think. I had other things I thought of saying and playing and doing too about everything in the world, but I haven't had one of these in a while, and I'm going to play this to get my way back to Delphi. I play this for the god of Delphi. I play this for all the gods. I play this so that I can go back and play again on the great altar, as I once did more than once, and play again at Olympus and at Epidavros and Kos, and go to other places I've named in other blogs. I won't talk, I'll just play. And I want to go to the revolution. C'est bon cela. C'est ça, j'étais joué ceci de type Clark. Aussi de génération. Ici de Watson, je jouais sur le grand altar d'Apollo à Delphi. Et les autres lieux en Grèce. Avec l'encouragement du management de région du site. Merci, je joue seulement maintenant. Je viens de jouer ce soir. C'est commencé mon retour à Delphi. what you can see of the train tracks behind me, I'm by the tracks of the Transcontinental Railway would come through here, but these are also the, this is the suburban train for Vancouver, the West Coast Express. I've learned to take it home after a day in town, as it gets me to right near my house with the shuttle meeting me at the far end. It's much more comfortable than the bus, and it's only 5.70 from Port Louis, so that's fine. Anyways, I love having one of these again. I get my wood whistle back, I think on Sunday he said it would be. When he sees his buddy again, it's in somebody's car. I also have a harmonica I bought, and the big one I have, I got a little one. And I want to get another Clark also. I'll buy a Clark. I get 2 Clarks like I used to have. I played 2 Clarks at once. It's my way of doing a syrinx. And there's also, yeah, I've seen the ones that made from deer bone, the ancient syrinx. Yeah, well, if something's already been killed, you know, I guess, you know, I'd use it the same as a proper, there's a certain term for a Turkish thing with a gourd. It was originally a skull at the bottom, not a gourd, you know. A certain category of instrument. I'm sorry, my Turkish is not on right now. I did have some Turkish happening. Anyways, I never did play these in Istanbul. Eko. Did I have these with me in Istanbul, Eko? Maybe I did. I should have played them there, you know? It never occurred to me. I played them in Delphi, I played them in Olympus, I played them at the Python, the Museum, the places Nick took me to. I played them at the Feronia for the dead of the defeated band. I want to play at Troy. I played on the walls and roads for the dead who died in the moat and on the defense of that city for 300 years before it, never mind all the stories that I could tell of all the history. Anyways, I'll play more music as tribute to the times. This is why I want to go. My Patreon again right here. Sure, I can play piano, and I got a bunch of poetry that comes out of me that needs to come out, songs that need telling, history and facts that need to be laid into the video record in time. English will be forgotten in its written form. Its spoken form is a different matter. And I'd like to get dragging actually speaking happening. There's something that can take all my stuff and just automatically generate the subtitles. If somebody can tell me that exists, take my audio, turn this into subtitles so I can put it into Spanish and French and Russian. I can do it in French myself, also in Spanish. Norwegian, I don't know. I'll try and learn Russian. I'm nowhere near that yet, but Greek maybe someday, you know. I'd like to live in Greece again. I'd like to see Italy finally. I'd like to go back to Spain. Just live in the sun. Play music for the dying of the world. That's what we're here for, friends. This is the big show, man. This is from here on in is the big show. The almonds were all in place this solstice, this holiest of Yules that came along. This last moments of it today, and even today I saw a sunset that was special, you know, like, I'm sorry, but I see with the eyes of the ancients. I can't help it. It's the way I was raised, what I learned in all my life in my travels, and what was beaten in and out of me. It's made me strong, this world. I wasn't made for this place where I am. I was made for more. And I don't mean that sound egotistical at all. It's a daunting prospect. All to do this without having anything, with having nothing, with being broken down to having nothing and still knowing it needs to be done. And as a historian friend of mine said about various of the research that I want to do during the course of all my playings and music, writings that I want to do, stories to tell, things to investigate, you know, that the Russian Naval Archives in St. Petersburg, I might be just the kind of guy, the very guy to actually go do that, and also to the Spanish Imperial Archives in Madrid, both of which are now open for study, because they were sealed for centuries. The Royal Navy, I think a lot of it's still sealed. Certainly Drake's original records are still sealed, said to be in the tower. I don't know, something like that. There was issues about, that we have the issues about Nova Albion actually been here. And there's a reason that it was fake. And there's this strange thing about Brobdingnag and Swift, about how similar it was. What he describes as Brobdingnag's culture is very similar to what the culture here was. And it's the same latitude given as in Gulliver's Travels. So while Swift was a satire, it seems he might have had a few people who knew something about Drake. I've heard tales. Same with Juan de Fuca, was what he told about the Straits of Annie Anne. We're in this country called Annie Anne. We all have to naming this country Annie Anne. Might even mean something good in Mandarin, I don't know. I should ask somebody who speaks Mandarin, you know, and also might mean something in native if we all gave it a name. We need a simple name for the area. The problem is then we'd all be Annie Annians. you know. But Free Columbia, Pacifica, there's this Cascadia word around. I don't like it myself. But I don't think that we can survive on our own. I think that we necessarily are doomed to be, I don't know whether I'll be here, but British Columbia is doomed in the long run. Fake it, part of the greater United States. But let's hope that that's a better United States than the one we've got going on right now. I'm all for a better United States. If the United States liberalizes, Canada is a colonial autocracy that needs sweeping aside. The Crown needs sweeping aside. Parliament needs sweeping aside. We need from the bottom up. And the problem is, unlike Iceland and unlike France, we're not a cohesive unit. We're 10 different provinces. We also have a whole group of people that are 5% or more of the population who are growing, the First Nations and the Indigenous peoples, you know, and the people of the Dana and Day, which isn't just the Northwest Territories, but Northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Nunavut, you know, get the comparison to those areas, and also areas within provinces like the Big Sioux Confederacy, the Haida Nation, the Nisga'a, the Sims, they got a settlement, and various others have got municipal, like Sechelt, Tsawwassen. But there are largely no treaties in British Columbia, so there is no actual legal basis for anybody to actually want to vote in anything that they had never voted to be part of in the first place. It's a huge geopolitical problem, people. In geopolitics, it's immense. But it also just happens that this has been the last remaining footprint of the British Empire. And we're between Alaska and the lower 48, and it's been several times that it's been under menace. Right now we're in a chessboard. I've explained it before elsewhere. But the thing is that no matter what people here want, the fate of this part of the area is if the United States can reform into something other than the sea of human time bombs it is right now, and somehow it comes out of the ashes, or just the west coast part of it does, of what's about to go down there. I gotta learn to look at the camera, but I'm gonna speak in here. We as Canadians, I don't know, am I still a Canadian? I don't know. Je voudrais être en France. Mon grand-père était dans l'Italie aussi, mon grand-père de Norvégien aussi, de Carmo et Rogaland, aussi sa famille vient de Mandal, la région allemande, d'Islande. Oui. Nous avons tous les arbres de nos familles. Mais si par la Colombie-Britannique, je connais bien que je ne suis pas d'ici. Oui, je viens vous voyez, c'est si beau, c'est comme la Suisse, avec un climat comme Grèce ou Utah, Arizona. Oui, c'est beau, où je me réveille à mes yeux, à ouvrir quand j'étais petit. Ça, je vais aller changer beaucoup. Mais aussi, c'est le pays des peuples slaves. Les gens de mon pays sont les slaves. Je connais leur bien. C'est mes amis, mes voisins. Mais moi, mon père était construit les dams et les powerhouse, je sais pas en français, stations électriques, les tunnels. Très grand projet. Qui a détruit la vallée? C'est pour moi le karma, le legacy, le burden de ça. C'est seulement quoi je peux faire. Racontez-le tout le monde, au monde, en sa langue, en français, en espagnol, en norvégien. Aussi, parce que les facts, je ne sais pas le mot en français, mon lexicon minuscule, facts sont différents du Canada, le fate of Canada, what shall pass, qu'est-ce que se passera au Canada, c'est nécessaire, on continue, la frontière avec les États-Unis est artificielle, soutenu par l'Empire d'Angleterre, par l'Angleterre du Royaume-Uni. Et c'est passé là, c'est vanished. Vanished, je sais pas. Aussi, nous avons les pieds de Chine ici, aussi les Américains ont passé ici à la Colombie-Britannique. C'est une grande difficulté avec le Mong Wanzhou situation. Je joue seulement la musique pour la France aussi. Oui. si vous devez m'aider, venir en France pour jouer. Seulement, si je m'en vais à la révolution, j'ai quoi la révolution? J'ai l'esprit de la révolution, mais je viens jouer sur ça à Grenoble, oui, aussi par Mont-Blanc, à Auvergne, à Promenade Saint-Lay, oui, aussi à Pont-Neuf, oui, ici, et puis toujours la France, je jouais mon flûte, c'est pas une flûte, c'est une whistle. Ah, jouer la musique, mec. Fermez la bouche, mec. fermez ma bouche. C'est difficile. J'ai découvert que je suis si français. Et je connais bien pour plusieurs années que je suis norvégien. Mon grand-père a ce côté de famille. À l'autre côté, c'est le mystère. Mon grand-père, le français, mon grand-père, je ne le vois bien. Sont les deux mystères à moi. Maintenant, j'étais francophone, mais j'étais né anglo. J'ai appris le français, à voyager aussi, à vivre au Cambodge et aussi à l'Acadie. C'est difficile à Québec. On parle français quand on est anglo. Mais à voyager au Cambodge avec les Belges qu'on venait, je parle bien. Hey, Suisse, yeah, c'est bon. Grenoble, c'est bon. Nice, j'aime beaucoup. Mon ami meilleur qui est mort maintenant, il était au Légion étrangère en camp, c'est pas mon frère. Un trainement près de Toulouse, je veux le voir. Je veux venir à la France, je veux venir à le pays de mes ancêtres, de mes aïeux, avoir où mes ancêtres ont marché. Et le pays de Galles, de Brittany, Normandie, Auvergne, yeah, Nietzsche. La France, je suis franco-norvégien, aussi irlandais, aussi anglais, mais le Canada pour moi. Il n'y a rien ici pour moi, il n'y a rien pour un chanteur, pour un raconteur, pour un gens qui connaît beaucoup. Pour que tous les gens ici n'aiment beaucoup les gens qui connaissent aussi beaucoup que je connais. Et c'est pourquoi je pauvre. Vrai, vraiment, c'est vrai. Ouais. Pour la musique, le philosophe, l'histoire, n'importe quoi ici pour les gens qui construisent les dams, les buildings, ils comptent les banques. Il a besoin de drones, de robots. Pas moi, c'est impossible pour moi. Pour moi, vivre en boîte, c'est pourquoi je n'ai pas un degré BA, MA. C'est pour ça, PhD, mais c'est impossible, parce que c'est impossible pour moi à vivre, à penser dedans un box à rectangle. Oui, à rectangle. C'est impossible. Mon tête est tout. Tout, toujours. Tous. All at once. Je parle en français en Québec, en français. All at once. You know, it's all at once. The thoughts all come at once. So history, science, environment, culture, they're all the same to me. Music, it's easier to play music than talk. So that's what I'm going to do now. C'est plus facile à jouer la musique que parler. Si, je jouerai maintenant. of Old Smoky. I got to learn how to Top of Old Smoky. That came to me while I was playing that last thing. That's a song I'd like to learn. The really sad song, Clementine, I really love. And Red River Valley I do on guitar. From this valley they say you are going. From this valley, and I'll do it kind of nice on guitar. I don't know on here, but I think on the traditional tunes maybe I should start doing the Canadian on here, including V'la Bon Vent. Let me see if I do V'la Bon Vent. V'la Bon Vent, V'la Jolie Vent, V'la Bon Vent, Mamie m'appelle, V'la Bon Vent, V'la Jolie Vent, V'la Bon Vent, Mamie m'attend. The good wind, the pretty wind, the good wind that calls to me, all my love I will return to you. It's a beautiful song. These guys are paddling like 50 strokes a minute, you know, it's just heavy packs, working big packs all day, 8-10 hours a day, these guys. This is a voyageur song, so it's part of the tradition of the exploitation of the West, the fur trade. Although the fur trade enriched the native peoples for a while, but it saved the grounds for what came after, which was the conquest of Western Canada by armed force, by Ontario and Quebec, when they acquired Rupert's Land. That's the whole history of Canada. That's part of the dark history that's not told in the official telling and the national image that we have of, oh, aren't the Mounties cute, you know, in the mountains, and oh, they always get their man, and what a great bunch of guys here, and how much they're polite they are than the U.S. cops. Whatever, right? But, no, the history of Canada is big, deep, and dark. And really the rest of the world needs to know it. They need to hear it from somebody like me who really knows it, but I just want to play my music, you know, but, you know, I want to play this in Delphi, I want to play in Ephesus, I want to play at the Temple of the Seven Planets and the Temple of the Moon God Sin in Haran, down near Odessa, near Bangladesh, if you're near Antalya, right near the war, you know. I see too much about the war, I know what's going on, how much bigger the world is than America and Russia. Most of them, the upstarts that became somehow superpowers, but their time is done. Russia isn't as much, Putin's as much trouble as Trump is, but the world can't see it because they don't know enough of the rest of their own problems, and Putin is not going to let on about his problems. But they're all, geopolitics is its inevitable conclusions. And right now, I'm going to learn Mandarin, basically, is what I'm concluding with. You know, I'll learn Mandarin, it's fine. It's worth learning about, it's a beautiful culture, it is a very interesting language. But I'm open to everything right now. I get told this sounds like Chinese music as much as it sounds like Irish music does because it has the pentatonic scale. And the reason the pentatonic scale works in all cultures, one form or another, it's a little different in Bali, Norway, and Africa and stuff, but the reason it works is it has to do with the structure of our inner ear, the reason that overtones and harmonics and fifths and fourths and why harmony is what it is that Bach perfected and Mozart and Beethoven took other places. And everything since in Western musical literature, but also the older musical systems of the ragas, Indian music, African music, Balinese music, all the folk systems of music all rely on the same relationship, so it has to do with the geometry of the inner ear, as to why we hear octaves and why we hear fourths and fifths and why they sound good to us. And why they sound good to us is why they get our attention. But yeah, anyway, music is part of the organism of life. We were meant to make this, we probably did this before we learned to speak. My theory. We learn to play music before we learn to speak, other than food, eat, go. But anything greater, you might have to express something on there, and you search for words afterwards to say what you discovered on your instrument, be it a drum or a flute, or a skin, or a song. You sing a song with knowing. You sing a song and knowings come to you when you sing. That's what it's like for some people. And the song itself comes as a knowing, capital K. I'm going to play till the train comes. I should have some water. Hope all this is still recording. I had bad luck not recording this. Oh, I see a timer going. Don't see a red light, but then I don't have my glasses on, you see. Can't see much now. It's fine. The less I see, the more I know. The less I see, the more I hear. The less I see, the more I see. I see, in another sense of seeing. In Greek, eido means to see. In ancient Greek, it's also where the word to know comes from. You only knew something if you saw it. So something intellectual, eido, something abstract. Well, you see the logic of it, perhaps, or the intuition of it. It comes to you. Music comes to me as intuition. I'm a philologist, they might say, or a polymath. they use the term demiurge for someone like me, but usually those are associated philologists with linguistic skill rather than talent. And polymath, I have mathematical talent, but it's all gone into history and everything else, geopolitics, and everything else I've done, including trying to ordinarily live and take care of my body, which was never built as a youth because my parents were older when I was born. There's a long story why I wasn't athletic and what it was like growing up as an unathletic giant. Oh, there we go. My Michael the Giant the other day, I'm going to use that for a while. I like the name. It's pretentious as hell. If you can't be pretentious in this world, what can you be? Everybody else is pretentious as hell. Why not a guy like me? Huh? Everybody else is pretentious as hell. So anyways, Michael the Giant it is. Michel le Géant. I'll have to translate that in Russian. Mitriotna. In Icelandic maybe, I don't know. That's a famous Canadian children's show's theme song, The Friendly Giant. And I've sometimes used Sometimes Friendly Giant as a blogging name. I like that name, Sometimes Friendly Giant. It's hard to be a giant and be expected to be tough and fierce and ogre and get mistaken for an ogre, especially when you're not looking well or in pain or limping. People are afraid of you when you limp. Instead of helping you, they're afraid of you. And you're big, so I'm afraid of you. Oh, please, little morsels that we're nice enough not to eat, us big people, you know. There's somebody shouting in Korean on the other. I've learned about Koreans on holidays, what they're like. I was in Seoul on a Friday night. That was interesting. Yeah, and they say the Irish invasion. That's no discredit to my Irish friends, but they do know how to have a good time. And I'll say that for the Koreans too. So anyway, somebody's yelling in Korean on the other platform. I think he's drunk. Seen a few drunken Koreans tonight. So I'm going to play one more thing, and then I'm going to yak for a while because it's got shit on my mind, and the train will be coming soon. So. Might as well play it. Amazing Grace, get it played, I guess. I'll get it played. Nope, just play some music, Mike. Don't try and play anybody else's song. Somebody told me that once. I've got to do that here too. People tell me, you know any traditional tunes? I might come up with a Gabio or something, but basically that's just what comes out of it. Gabio is this here. That's the Gabio, but you know, used to have a big one of my dad's fiddle books, you know, and that's lost in that box of stuff that Kevin gave away for $10 or something at a garage sale. I've got to get my train and end this.